Happy Friday and welcome to episode 2 of the Vegan Girl Diaries. Feel free to share this if you think it would be helpful for your following, your friends, your family, or if you're watching the recording on YouTube, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so I know to keep making this series. I'd love to know if you guys have any specific questions that you want me to answer for you, or anything that you just want to know about my vegan lifestyle or veganism in general, anything you guys want. But today, I want to address probably the most common objection that I hear, or just question that I hear from people who are kind of scared of a plant-based diet, or they make fun of one, or they simply don't understand it or don't want to understand it, because I feel like this is kind of common knowledge at this point in my life. The protein myth. Okay, but where do you get your protein from? At this point in my life, I've been, a vegetarian over 13 years and a vegan for like kind of 4 combined years, but I kind of just try not to roll my eyes at this point because there's so much information out there. But I kind of just have to, whenever I hear this question, I just have to take a deep breath, right? If you're a fellow vegan, I'm sure you get this all the time. You just kind of take a deep breath and remember when you first started learning about veganism or doing your own research or just plant-based lifestyle or all of that, I had to seek out the information. I was not given the information. I had to seek it out myself, right? There's a ton of false information out there on a lot of different websites, and we're taught that there's really only animal protein as the only source of protein, right? Yes, we see like animal meat, eggs, dairy as, hi mom, hi Jessica, hi all, everyone. But we only see that. When we walk into a grocery store, we just see the meat department, and that is totally normal in our society, right? We walk in, we see that, we immediately associate that with protein. The butcher, that's what it's called. Yes, I was trying to figure out what it is, but we immediately see that. And I wanted to check on something earlier this morning to see, hey Karen, if there was any change in the food pyramid, which is actually not a pyramid anymore. So I went on myplate.gov site, and this is what they describe the protein portion as. I wrote it down. All foods made from meat, poultry, seafood, beans and peas, eggs, processed soy products, nuts, and seeds are considered part of the protein foods group. Beans and peas are also part of the vegetable group. That's kind of an improvement, I think, because they do mention plant proteins, which is great, but this is what they also say. Wait for it. All right, you should consume at least 8 ounces of cooked seafood per week. What? It's just totally reversed what I found. But when I get asked where I get my protein, I can easily list some foods. And if you're a vegan, you could totally just post a lot of protein sources on here just to like up the engagement on here. But really, lentils, black beans, veggie burgers, chickpeas, my vegan superfood, smoothies, quinoa, tofu, tempeh, nut butter, peas, seeds, spinach, broccoli, asparagus, almonds, almond milk, nutritional yeast. I really could go on. Any green vegetable, there's so many different veggies that contain so much protein. But the thing is that animal proteins are consumed like the most, right? If you think about the animals themselves, they are herbivores. Cows, chickens, pigs, whatever else you guys eat. Where are they getting their protein from? Plants. They're getting their protein from plants. So as long as you are consuming a variety of plant-based foods that includes like maybe legumes or protein-rich grains, you don't even need that, you just need a lot of leafy greens, you have no trouble meeting your protein requirements without animal foods. In fact, you're probably surpassing it. So your body combines them, you don't need complete proteins, you just need enough protein. So you're getting enough protein and you're getting a ton of nutrients at the same time. And you guys, I know I'm gonna get asked this too. I go to the doctor when I'm supposed to, I get my blood tested, I'm super healthy. I've never felt so healthy and light and awesome, and my protein intake is on point, okay? So I have tons and tons of meal prep blogs as well that I would be more than happy to comment on here. If you guys want to see those, let me know. I think that's one of the other questions I'm gonna address in another video is how I meal prep, but I could easily post that up in the comments below if you wanna see that. But I also wanted to segue into something because I really just wanna know if people get the same question, just really fast, okay? So if you're a fellow vegan, I'd love to know if you get asked this all the time, especially if you're a mom. I get asked if I'm going to raise my kids vegan. First of all, I don't even have kids. I'm newly engaged. And I don't think I've ever asked my friends, oh, are you gonna raise your kids omnivore? right? So that's kind of a tough thing to answer because I don't necessarily think that that comes from a place of genuine curiosity. Do you guys agree? Have you ever been asked that question, like, oh, are you gonna raise your kids omnivore? Are you gonna raise your kids vegan? Because it usually ends in just like a lot, even if I just try to respond like, oh, yes, no, maybe so, it always ends in accusatory questions or remarks, right? Kind of rude remarks or just jokes. So it kind of throws me for a loop. But this is kind of what I wanted to mention. Take broccoli, for instance. Broccoli contains 4 grams of protein in just 1 cup. And in that same cup, it contains a high percentage of the calcium intake you need every single day, vitamin C, fiber, and B vitamins. And guess how many calories that is for 1 cup? 30. Put a little coconut oil on it. That's freaking amazing. That's so good. Or even just raw on top of a salad. But that's crazy. And that's only 1 serving of vegetables. This is just the power of vegetables, ladies and gentlemen, seriously. But I have about 5 on average servings of veggies per day. That's just on average. I get asked that a lot. But I understand that my lifestyle isn't mainstream, but it really is becoming that way more and more. And it really is about the constant, hey Becca, the constant research that you do yourself. You have to seek it out. So go on Netflix and watch Cowspiracy. I think that's my #1. You gotta watch Cowspiracy before you watch What the Health. What the Health is completely different than Forks Over Knives and Cowspiracy because that's more of the animals, where that SHIT is coming from, all of that. But What the Health is more like the government and what we're being tricked into. So it's obvious how incredible plants are, and I would recommend getting the Oh She Glows cookbook. It's amazing. Or Thug Kitchen. It's very obvious that they're healing, they're amazing, they're delicious, and I have really awesome recipes and a vegan ebook if anybody is interested in that. It's called my Vegan Girl Guide. But would you guys do me a favor really fast? Google vegan protein, and I want you to just see the abundance of amazing veggie proteins that are on there. Because even though we're bombarded with commercials of like meat and processed dairy products all over the meat and ads talking about how much protein we need, which by the way, we consume way too much. If I'm being honest, there's just so much. Like 1 serving size of protein is like less than the size of your palm. But when you are, talking, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the ads about protein, we consume way too much. You guys are in charge of your lifestyle, right? I'm in charge of my lifestyle. I'm in charge of what I cook, what I choose to support and spend my money on at the grocery store. And it adds up. As consumers, we are so powerful. So I'm actually gonna be talking about this in an upcoming episode because I do think it's really important, but I wanna go over my top favorite vegan food products, specifically food, and where to get them. And no, you do not need to spend a ton of money to be vegan. I think my last grocery haul was less than $40 for an entire week of vegan meal, like food to prep, and it was from Trader Joe's. Happy herbivore, I'll have to check that out, Karen. But yeah, $40 for like a week of food. And Whole Foods is a little bit a different story, but even when I'm there, if I stay, I'm good. If I stay in the produce section and I avoid those vegan donuts and all that packaged food that adds up like insane, I usually spend like $50 because I'm just gonna have plant-filled meals. I'm going to prep my own food, so it's not gonna be that expensive. But anyway, I hope that helped really just bust the protein myth a little bit. But if you do have any vegan friends or anybody that's curious, or let them know that you can definitely survive without this. But just know, vegans hear it all the time. We hear it all the time. So instead of asking, where do you get your protein from? Maybe ask about their favorite meals, or what are you starting to see? What are you noticing? How are you feeling since you've been on a plant-based diet or plant-based lifestyle or being a vegan? It's kind of hard when we're constantly asked the same question and there's so much information out there. And I know we just want to roll our eyes and be like, well, where do you get your fiber? Or how's your cholesterol, Bob? But we want to ask those questions back. But I know that the majority of people just don't know and they're curious. So know that they might be coming from a place of curiosity, maybe not, but always respond in a positive way. I feel like that's the best thing to do because people have no idea what the dairy industry is capable of, what the meat industry is behind all those commercials that we see in the store, behind the product that's already perfectly packaged for us. So just be the example. That's really all I have to be. Happy, be bright, be the example. So keep doing your research. People will come to you because if you're staying the example, if you're staying that positive light of energy and you are doing it, they're going to be curious. They're going to want to hear from you and just figure out what it is that you do on a daily basis, what it is that you eat. And I'm probably gonna be addressing that in another episode as well. But that is why I'm making this series, because I get asked about my lifestyle above anything else. So in the meantime, eat your veggies, Share this video if you found it helpful. Thank you so much for being on live, anybody that was live, and this will be on YouTube probably a little bit later today, but I will see you next time on the Vegan Girl Diaries.